What's good, my little community? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video with the equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing LiTTyENT. You already know what time it is. Now let's go. Now guys, today I'm going to be giving my full review of Arrdee's latest project called Peer Pressure. And trust me guys, I've got a lot to say on this one. And we're going to break this down in way more detail. But you already know what you got to do. You just got to like, comment, subscribe to be up to date every time I drop a banger like this one. And hit that noty, because you ain't an idiot. So you can be the first to know one of these videos comes out. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Yes, if you didn't already know, Arrdee dropped his latest project called Peer Pressure this Friday. And for me, it was really a toss-up between listening to this and watching Top Boy. And I chose to listen to this first so I could give you guys this review. And let me tell you, boy, was that the biggest mistake I've made this weekend. You're a donut! I have to preface this by saying that I actually do like Arrdee and Arrdee's music, but this album was just whack, man. It was just whack. Like, it's just meh. Starting off the album with a song called Locker, which I thought was like a cool, braggadocious type of song to kick you off and engage you into the album, which I thought he did really well. But the more I go into the album, the more I just found more of the same. Like, this album is basically just a bunch of party anthems, but not the party anthems that you'd want to hear where you're like at a party and at a rave. It's the party anthems for a year 6 leavers disco. I think even one of the songs is named Frutella, proving my point. Another thing on the album that really disappointed me is that half of this album we've already heard before, you know? The project has 14 songs on it and half of them are like some of his singles from like last year.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
He's put Flowers on it, War and Oliver Twist. You know, the first two I can allow because Flowers and War was kind of part of the rollout. And I can allow Oliver Twist as like a little bonus track, even though that came out a year ago as well. But, you know, that was kind of like his first big tune. So I can give him a pass for that. But then this cheeky chappy had the absolute cheek to slap With It on there, Wasted with Diggity. And this guy even slapped the Body remix on the album. Like, am I listening to This Is Arrdee on Spotify? Am I listening to Arrdee's Essentials on Apple Music? Like, what's going on? You only had one verse on that tune, mate. I get it, your verse kind of made the song pop, but come on, man. That's a bit of a stretch. Two of those songs I mentioned were already placed on Tia Wayne's album, which evidently shows that this has been done as a money grab and a cash grab and to obviously try and boost sales for the project. It just seems like a low integrity move on Arrdee's team's part. Like, it's like putting a whole load of water in your Fanta when you're not looking and you're drinking thinking you're gonna get the full Fanta and then you just taste this diluted nonsense. The entire album seems very fabricated, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I hate to say it, but Arrdee really had nothing to say on this album. Like, he was just chatting was for the whole album. And I know a lot of rappers chat was, but in your debut album, I would think that you know, like, have a message or a story that you want to tell people about, you know, about your come up. And he really only divulged into those details on the last song called Who Would Have Thought. And I was just thinking, you know, who would have thought I'd still be here? You know, who would have thought I'd still be listening to this? Who would have thought I wouldn't have turned off this garbage by now?
I don't know what kind of herb from Jamaica you've been smoking, but that is disgusting crap.
It's very evident from listening to the album that Arrdee had built up a lot of momentum. And then the label, they just said to him, yeah, you need to drop a project now. Like, it's time to capitalize on all this hype that you're building up. And honestly, I just don't think it was the right move. You know, Arrdee is not an album guy. He's a singles guy. And you know, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe he is an album guy. But if you wanted to prove me wrong, Arrdee, then you wouldn't have dropped an album like this. Like, you know what I mean? $100,000 for the cheapest ring on the nigga finger, little bitch. So for now, I'm saying Arrdee is a singles artist, and that's okay, you know. Not everyone's built to be doing a Dave, we're all alone in this together. Just to go back to that Who Would Have Thought song, you can tell that that was supposed to be kind of the last song on the project, and it's not the last. It's like the third to last song, which probably signifies that the label heard the album and thought, nah, we need to add in some of your old tunes or your old hits on this, or it's not going to be doing numbers.
He knows. My man knows.
But again, just to add back to the fabrication, like, as I said, this album seems very fabricated. It sounds like it's got everything it needs to not fail. Like, they made sure he had a couple of the girls' tunes, a couple of the tunes where he was trying to sing, which, please, Arrdee, don't do that again. Like, no.
Oh, you ain't know I can sing?
I like when you did the little bit of it in Flowers. We like say what is it?
That's not the way you sing that song, man.
But I think that's as far as you need to go with it. And make sure you had a few girls tunes, a few singing tunes, a few hard tunes. Then that one song talking about the struggle and how he made it. And then the majority of it just, you know, Year 6 Leavers disco party anthems. And then he sprinkled some of his previous hits in there. And there you go. You have an Arrdee album that can't fail. That's foolproof. Another thing that worries me is that a lot of the tunes on this album are samples. And I mean blatant samples. If you watch my sample wave video, you'll know what I mean by blatant samples, which for someone who's a new artist, I just don't think it's wise to keep on relying on samples every time you make a tune. You know, that gimmick is going to get played out real quick. Not to mention your tunes won't even be making as much money as you want them to because of like the royalty fees and all that malarkey. So yeah, I don't think that's a good move. But long story short, this Arrdee album was kind of whack. I hate to say it because I like Arrdee and I like the wave that he's been building and what he's got going on, but this album really made it seem like Arrdee is here for a good time and not a long time. And I don't think we're going to be looking back on this in 5 years and thinking, damn, remember Arddee's first album? Remember Peer Pressure? Like how we look at psychodrama or look at Common Sense. And I know it's not fair to compare him to those albums because those are just certified UK classics, but in a way it kind of is fair because that's kind of the standard of the UK now. Like, everyone's getting #1s now, so the bar has been raised, and if you're not meeting it, then I gotta say you're not meeting it. You know what I mean?
$100,000 for the cheapest ring on the nigga finger, little bitch.
But let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. What did you think of Arddee's album Peer Pressure? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think my review is spot on, or do you think I'm chatting a whole load of was? You let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 800 subs. You already know what time it is. You follow my personal IG at the only LiTTyENT. If you care about what I do, I'm not making these bangers for you. I post updates on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on there, because what else are you doing with your life? Absolutely nothing, mate. Stay black, and if you're not black, stay whatever race you are. I bet. Peace.
Oh, you ain't know I could sing?